CCNA Security Real-World Labs, ASA Firewalls, SSL VPNs. In my opinion, this is the most popular remote access VPN solution available today. What I mean by that, it has become really popular in the last couple of years. A lot of companies decided to move to SSL VPNs and they stopped using IPsec VPNs. I'm pretty sure at this stage of your career you know what SSL VPNs are all about. Here I want to focus on clientless VPNs and show you how you can enable that feature on a Cisco ASA firewall, and I will try and show you why people love that solution, why people moved away from IPsec and they deploy SSL VPNs everywhere. To prove my point, just go and Google or try and find any firewall, any UTM device, anything. SSL VPNs, it will be there, yeah? You will find SSL VPN feature, a feature like that on a firewall, on a UTM device. It's everywhere. That's our topology. We'll have two sessions dedicated to SSL VPNs on ASA firewalls. Of course, if everything goes okay. The first one is I want to show you how easy it is to start with SSL VPNs. All we want to do is we want to browse to 1.1.1.1 and we should be able to authenticate. That's it. Then we'll try and tweak that in part 2. I'll tell you later on what we want to achieve. I'll tell you now. The idea is we want to lock it down. A lot of companies deploy SSL VPNs for third parties, for some other companies. If you want to do that, you have to lock it down. You have to make sure that there will be one link only, right? One RDP option, one file, whatever you want to allow, but nothing else. They should not be allowed to browse any files. They should not be allowed to use any connect, nothing. That's what we are going to do in part 2. We will tweak that. I'll show you how you can achieve that. Here, that's our topology. ASA, outside IP address 1.1.1.1. Sorry, and PC is 1.1.1.199. Okay, I have my ASDM up and running and it should be okay this time. I use Radmin to manage that PC. It is much faster than tight VNC, so we should be okay with that. Right, let's start with what I did is just literally IP addresses, no SHAT and ASDM image. The ASDM image, nothing else on that firewall. We go to remote access VPNs and we are interested in clientless SSL VPN. There are 3 things that you have to do to make it happen. First of all, we need a group policy. This is a set of features, attributes that will be applied when a user logs in. Then we need a connection profile, something that we'll use to connect. And the third thing that we're going to start with is we have to enable it. Click apply and we're going to enable it. I have one interface only. Yes, there is no inside interface. I don't need that for that lab. Let's go to group policies now and let's create a new one. You could use that one. I always recommend you create a new one. Let's call it GP1. Then what I like to do I like to tick clientless SSL VPN. That's it for now. We'll come back to it and I'll show you a few features that you can enable later on. For now, it is enough to lock it down to a clientless SSL VPN. Now, let's go to the connection profiles and we're going to create a new one. Let's call it CP1. Authentication local, that's what we want. We want to use local authentication. Sure you can see that. Want to use local authentication. We don't need DNS servers for now. In the real world you would specify that. And our group policy is GP1. This time we have to go to advanced and we have to go for the last option and add a URL that we'll use to connect. In our case, HTTPS, it is 1.1.1.1 and let's use SSL VPN. I will copy that because we'll use that. That's it. That should be more than enough to connect to that VPN. Let's try it. Okay, that's it. I don't have a local username and password. Let's fix that. Let's go to device, users, and here we are going to create a local account. Let's call it user, password, of course, Cisco. And here we'll say no ASDM, no SSH. It is more than enough to allow this user to VPN. I'll show you one more thing. What you can do, you can lock it down and specify a group policy and everything that you want, if you want to do it that way. Most people don't. But if that is a requirement and it's a shared ASA, for instance, then you would do that. Oops, it was user, Cisco. That's it. We're connected. Can you see how easy it is? Literally 3 steps to make it work. You will not see a lot of options here because we do not have any features enabled on that ASA. I will try and add an RDP plugin, Remote Desktop Protocol plugin. We should see one more tab here. Of course, there is no AnyConnect because we don't have an AnyConnect image and nothing is enabled for AnyConnect. That's why you don't have Citrix, VNC, nothing really here, because we do not have any features, any plugins like that on our ASA firewall. Clientless SSL VPN, portal, and here there is this guy. Going to import RDP. But there are 2. I think this one will work. Yep. Let's see if it changes anything in our VPN. Let's log in again. Please note, terminal service, right? We can use RDP, specify an IP address. Of course, we can create a link here, a bookmark that will be used by our end users. In this video, we talked about SSL VPNs. I showed you how you can enable that feature on an ASA firewall. In the next lecture, we are going to tweak that, lock it down, and change a few options. Thank you very much.